Hello everyone. In this video, I want to look at the Keynesian approach to modeling economics. And of course, this was developed by John Maynard Keynes, one of the most famous economists in recent times. This approach focuses on the aggregate demand, AD. It assumes that wages and prices are sticky. What that means is when the economy faces a downturn, employers don't necessarily want to reduce the wages of their employees immediately. So it takes a while for that to kick in. Same thing with prices. We have a workhorse model that we use in economics, and that's called the aggregate demand, aggregate supply model. And this is it right here. So we have three main features of it. We have the aggregate demand curve, which is downward sloping. Then we have the short-run aggregate supply curve, which is somewhat curved upwards. And finally, we have the long-run aggregate supply curve, which is completely vertical. And this is at the level of potential output in your economy. So the potential GDP is when your workers are working to the best of their ability, all your machines are employed, everything is going well. That's your potential. That's how well you can be. That's the best you can be in terms of productivity. And of course, price is on the vertical axis, and output, or Y, or you could say real GDP, is on the vertical axis. Okay, so when all three curves are intersecting, we call that the equilibrium point. However, let's say we have a recession like we do with COVID, where we have a drop in the aggregate demand. So in this case, we switch to the graphs over on the right hand side here, and we see that the AD shift from AD0 to AD1. And so we have what we call a recessionary gap, because right here, we're at this new equilibrium level, which is below our potential level of GDP. And so we're in recession at this point. Now, the neoclassical theory would say all that would happen at this point is that now workers are going to lose their jobs. The ones who still have jobs are going to have lower wages. And so this is going to lead to an increase in the short-run aggregate supply shifting, and so it shifts to the right. Because now we have lower wages, and that's a lower input cost for businesses, and so it's going to increase the supply, the short-run supply, back to long-run equilibrium. So that's neoclassical. But Keynes disagreed with this approach, and he said that we have sticky wages, and so what we're going to have is the wages aren't going to adjust to bring us back to equilibrium, and so we're going to have this recession for a long time. So Keynes then would suggest that we use some kind of stimulus to the economy to move us from the recessionary level back to the potential level. So I'll address this effect of the monetary and fiscal policy on the economy in a later video. So look out for that video soon.